Hello, welcome to the Play Ratings. Today, Lou and I will be discussing the Conference League defeat, Larnaca at Sellers Park, Palace nil, Larnaca 1. Appreciate all your support. If you could please, again, hit the subscribe button, the like button, any comments you have on the match, on the ratings, drop them, and Louis and I be sure to comment back. And again, we appreciate all your support. Louis, you're at the game. Talk to me.
Yeah, I was at the game. Very frustrating game. I was watching it with D. Um, I think I'm choosing to take it as a lesson. The loss, uh, s- like Glasner said, is a bit of a reality check about this competition and where we are as a team and a squad, and just to lower expectations maybe a bit. I really like the creativity of the tifo before, but it was a bit like felt like it was tempting fate saying that
Yeah.
we're going to be in Leipzig and saying we'll win your silly little game. But I think it's a great TIFO and I love what the HF do. To be fair, like I've got no negativity to say about them.
Right.
I'm just saying the message in felt like we tempted fate a little bit.
I understand that definitely. So interesting. One of my favorite websites to check out stats is this Mob. It's very popular here in America, but they have Larnaca up in a 4-2-3-1. There's no doubt they were playing five in the back. I mean, you were there, right? It was definitely five in the back, and I'm
Yeah,
talking about five defenders, not three center backs and two wing backs. Five defenders. So I want to get into like the issue of breaking down teams. I mean, it's a massive talking point among the Palace fan base about we have a problem breaking down low blocks, and again we have a problem for a lot of
of,
reasons. One, we don't face it very often, and two, you can listen to Pep. I remember last year, was it Ruben Diaz talked about playing? I guess it was some relegation side, talking
mm.
about how they were playing a low block and how hard to break down. It's not easy to break down. And I think what
Oh
Gladys
yeah,
said after the game was important. If you don't score early, it becomes much harder as the game goes on.
yeah.
So,
I,
what are your thoughts
I
on that?
I think in general, like we always say, this is what I mean about people make comments about how football was better back in the day and stuff like that. But now there's such a high level across the board that you can't just roll over teams.
Yeah.
Players are fitter, players are
Yep.
more tactically aware. Um, yeah, and listen, trying to break down a team is really not as simple as it gets. But we've had chances to score and score early. I feel like
Exactly.
Larnaca at some points were putting it on a plate for us. But yeah, this is what happens. You get punished, but teams it was a bit like a cup. It was a cup game. You get them all the time. Teams getting beat in the cup by much lower level teams.
Yeah.
Um, all credit to Larnaca, I say.
100% that. I mean, I just put a little tweet out about they deserve the win. The fact that they took their one chance really, and they really came. They did a good job. But you're right. I mean, I talked about D during the post match reaction about Stockport last year, Doncaster, Millwall. They all came in low block intent, and we were able to break them down. But sometimes it just takes that moment of brilliance. Last year was Eze against what Stockport was it Stockport, that first game, the FA Cup game, and it just takes somebody doing something brilliant to think. But again, if you don't score that early goal, it's difficult.
But
Let's jump into the
this is
ratings. Go ahead.
just a quick. Obviously, we're playing Arsenal on Sunday. It's not like a preview of that, but this
Right.
is why Arsenal became why I will never have a go at Arsenal about their set pieces because it's similar to what Glasner says. If you can get the first goal, it opens up the game. That's what has to
Opens up the
happen.
game.
So
100%.
we had lots of set piece opportunities yesterday, and if we're a bit better, we punish them a bit more. You score on a set piece, it's a different game. Same what
They
Arsenal
have
did
to
to
come out.
Atletico. It
Right.
was a tight game. They get a set piece goal, 4-0
Yeah.
against
Yeah.
Atletico. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing. So it's like that's the modern day game. It's become really hard to score from open play.
Yeah. 100%. Jump into the ratings. Dean Henderson, I gave him a 5.5. He gave him a 5. I thought he had nothing to do. He had that one catch save, or if it was 10th minute from a corner kick. But the one opportunity he had to do something, he messed up. To me, he stitched up Convo on that. He can't play that ball to him. One, he's a young player. Two, he's being pressed by two players. Convo can do two things. What he did, or pass it back to Henderson. He had no other option. So for me, he's as guilty as Convo is for the goal. Stat wise, again, one save. His passing was brilliant, 14 out of 15, 4 out of 5 long balls. His only mistake was that pass to Convo, but it's a big mistake, cost us the game. But your thoughts?
Yeah. I think you just covered it mostly. It's one of those days at the office. I think when we go through the ratings, it's not going to be a really long one. It's just going to be one of those days for every player mostly.
Yeah. Ty Mitchell, I actually gave him a 6. Like you, I slept on it a little bit, but you gave him a 5. Your thoughts on Ty?
I thought he'd get into really good positions. He was probably one of the biggest threats, but the quality wasn't there. Under hit crosses, over hit crosses, but he probably had to play with quite a few different people. I'm just really annoyed the fact that he's had to play 90 minutes ahead of Sunday.
Yeah, same with me. Stat wise, 36 out of 44 passing. You're right about crossing, only 1 out of 4 accurate crosses. Got himself in good positions. Defensively was very solid. 6 out of 7 ground duels, 1, 7 recoveries, 2 tackles, 2 clearances, but just the end product wasn't there. But again, I don't think he's at fault. I mean, they scored one silly goal. I can't blame him. I'm not going to give him a real low score because we couldn't score and they scored a silly goal. Same for Danny Munoz. I gave him a 6, you gave him a 5. I'll go first. I thought again, got himself in positions. He had the most tackles in the match, 5. He's 40 out of 48 accurate passing, 79 touches. His crossing a little bit better, 2 out of 6. 7 tackles, 6 recoveries, very good defensively. But again, just that final end product. And again, it wasn't necessarily his end product, but no one was at the end of it. Whether it be Saw, Pino, we'll get to Mateta and Ketia, no one was at the end of it. But your thoughts on Danny Munoz?
Yeah, he had a really good chance that I think he took a little bit too long to hit. It's like a second. I don't know why he just didn't come onto it and shoot. It's like he took his time. It was Munoz is probably part of the team that he wasn't the problem really yesterday. I think also when you trying to break low block teams, I think the biggest thing is having players who can beat players in a 1v1 situation.
1v1, yeah, 100%.
So you need a player who can get the ball and dribble past someone from a standing position, not running onto it. The fact that they can get the ball and just go past someone. And kind of that's what Eze could do, but I wouldn't even say, I'd say more in the type of a Semenyo type player, and someone that will get it out wide and just put fear into the defenders.
Right.
And we didn't have that yesterday. Sar's not really a dribbler. Munoz is normally one of our biggest threats, and he's really not a dribbler at all. So yeah, it was always gonna be like that.
We'll go into it later on, but I think that's the key with our 10s. You're right about Sar doesn't do it. It has to be Pino. He's not there yet because he hasn't really gotten used to the way we play. But he has to be the one because you can't have 2 players that can't beat 1-on-1 defenders, and we have to have one of the 10s do it. And if you don't have Wharton, we'll get to that in the middle of midfield. If you don't have Wharton in that midfield to open up with nice balls through the middle or wide, you have to have the 10s do it. Or again, the wing backs, we didn't have that. Mark Gahey, both gave him a 6. Looking at the stats again, 97 out of 107 passes, 119 touches, made the most passes in the game, as again the stat shows. 33 passes into the final third. If anybody, he was trying to get the ball into the final third. 9 out of 15 accurate long balls. Defensively, had nothing to really do. 2 out of 2 ground duels. Again, I can't kill the defensive players because they had nothing to do, bar that one mistake by Convo and Henderson. But I thought he was solid. Again, because we lost the game, honestly, was probably a solid 8 by Mark. But your thoughts?
Oh, after Wharton, he's probably the most dangerous person on the ball for us.
Yeah,
I think. Even when Mitchell has it at left high up on the left, sometimes I'm just play it back to Mark and let him swing it in. But yeah, all the good build up come from him. He looked a bit frustrated yesterday. I really like his honest
post-match
interview. He doesn't sugarcoat stuff. He doesn't pander to questions. Also, he just says it how it is. But yeah, no complaints from Mark.
Yeah, his facial expressions betray his emotions, and I love that about a player. He's just honest. You can just tell he's not trying to say what you want him to say. He's just saying what Mark says. So yeah, I agree. Max Aqua, gave him a 6, you gave him a 5. Your thoughts on Max?
I thought there was quite a few rush passes yesterday. Just like when the ball's coming to him, just trying to play that whole borderline of rushing and playing quickly again. I feel like we have a little bit of issues with that. And I thought the strikers gave him a little bit of a tougher day than we probably would have expected. But yeah, there was nothing glaringly wrong.
Um, agree with all that. 108 touches, 4 out of 5 accurate long balls, passing 91 out of 99. Again, we used a lot of the centre backs, those two in particular, Gahey and Lacroix, getting the ball. 4 out of 5 long balls, 7 recoveries. The only issue I had with him was that miss. He had a great chance to score a goal, 6 yards out, corner kick, header. He's got to score that, and the funny thing is, he's got that one goal against City, but he's got a lot more goals in Germany than he's much better heading the ball. I'm surprised he's actually missed a couple of headers this season.
Yeah,
and he was involved in that goal, the West Ham game. I guess he was involved in. I think it was Mateta's goal. One of those goals he was involved.
No, Gahey headed that. He hit the crossbar from the corner in the second half. Wharton.
But didn't
Wharton corner.
Right.
No, so just before Bowen scored, Wharton corner just after the second part, and it crashed off the bar. He headed it onto the bar.
Was that Lacroix or Gahey?
Yeah, that was Lacroix.
That's what I'm saying, right? Exactly. Yeah, had chances.
It was exactly the same chance as the City goal. It was exactly the same.
Right. But he's
so that's point blank missed from 3 yards out, and
he's too good to be missing those chances. And again, score that chance, and all of a sudden it's a different game. But again, not a terrible game by any of the centre backs, except for the one we're going to come to. He didn't have a terrible game, by the way. I shouldn't say that about Convo, but he made the big mistake. So let's go to JD. We both gave him a 4. I thought there was a point when he looked a little bit rushed. He was 54 out of 61 passing. I love the shot that he took. I mean, it just went past the post. He was 4 for 4 on accurate long balls, 4 tackles, 2 clearances. But the mistake to not look when you're making that pass proved to be. But again, he's a young kid. I am not going to kill him for it. I'm not. Again, I mentioned before, I thought that Henderson stitched him up with the pass. And you give a player, any player, if he gave it to Lacroix or Gahey, we give it to him, and you've got 2 players coming in and pressing him. You give him no options, because the only option he had was really back to Henderson. He had the pass he tried to make was it's a pass it has to be 100% accurate on, and he wasn't. And then once they transition there, we're out of position, and Henderson can't get back in position to make the save. But I feel bad for the kicker. I didn't think he was playing poorly. I'm glad he got a chance to play, but it was a bad mistake and it cost us the game. But your thoughts on JD?
I think there was a couple of moments in the first half where he looked quite shaky. There was one where he let someone get in behind on the right hand side. He's a very strong boy, but I think he's just finding his feet in a different country. He's
second ever start. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to take it as a learning curve. Learn from these mistakes. He's only 19 years old, so I'm not going to kill him. There were some great passes into Mateta. Also, I feel like the movement was very poor ahead of him yesterday. I think he was trying to play that ball to Sarr down the side, but I don't think that's part of our patterns of play for some reason. Sometimes we just don't play that ball in behind the fullback and the centre half. But I feel like there was space there yesterday. Yeah. Right. But I feel like every time he tried it, it just didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't really see that as a pattern of play that we normally have. A lot of it goes straight to Mateta's feet. But yeah, I didn't think it helped him having so much to do on the ball as well. I think maybe he's I don't know how to explain it. It was a weird game, but I'm not going to kill him. But it was for me a poor performance from him.
Fair enough. Next we'll go to our centre midfielder. So I'll start with Will Hughes. Game of 60, game of 5. Do you want to go first on Will Hughes? I'll put up the stats he had.
I thought he was our best player in this first half. I thought he ran the game. If anything was going to go through the midfield, it was going to go through Hughes. The second half just got a bit. Yeah, I feel like there was a few crosses that just felt like they were spamming them into the box. A few silly fouls. I think he just faded a bit, and then he looked a little bit better when Wharton came on. But yeah, he was probably one of the better players, but he didn't influence the game in terms of the result because we lost.
Yeah. So I have no issue with Hughes playing. Obviously, it's difficult when it's him and he and Lerma. Sorry, grammatically correct. he has to basically run the show. In the game yesterday, he created the most chances with 4, but most of those were from either corner kicks or from free kicks. He was 52 out of 59 passing to 88%. But his accurate crosses were 3 out of 9. Accurate long balls were 5 out of 6, which is decent. Ground duels 4 out of 7. But you're right. He faded as the game went on. That might be a part that he hasn't played in a while. Remember, he had the injury, was out for a bit, hasn't started obviously because it's been mostly Wharton and Kamada. But it's a lot of pressure for him. For me personally, I think, and even though he was a 10 when he came up through Derby, he's just not creative enough for me. And we're going to get to Lerman in a bit. When Lerman's next to you, who's playing balls sideways and backwards, that's what he's comfortable doing. It becomes an issue. So if his set pieces aren't perfect, and again, I'll give him credit because the balls that he played in, it was his corner kick to Lacroix. He has to score that. So he could have easily gotten an assist on that. So I don't want to kill him for that. But it's difficult when we get to them in a second, when the 10s aren't working and the wing backs aren't working, and we will need Will Hughes to create for us, we have a problem. And that was what happened yesterday for me. So we'll get to Lerman now. So I gave him a 5, you gave him a 4. I could have easily given him a 4, but I won't because I'm going to defend him a bit. I don't know why. He was the most accurate passer, 97%. He misplaced 1 pass. But I just mentioned it before. Lerman's more comfortable playing balls backwards and sideways. He was actually 4 out of 4 on accurate long balls, but 0 for 2 on crossing. 2 out of 4 defensively, he was fine. 2 tackles, 6 recoveries, an interception, a clearance. But when you have, I'll take this off for a second. When you have, again, Will Hughes and Jefferson Lerma, and Lerma wants to play a ball backwards and sideways just to be safe, and he doesn't not willing to take a chance at all. He did play some long balls to be fair, but let me look at one thing. Did he play any balls in the final third? He had 4 into the final third. You got to play more than that. You got to be a little bit more, take some chances. That's going to be our issue. Again, I totally understand. We'll get to Glasgow later. Why Glasgow started these two, because you can't keep playing Wharton and Kamada. You have to switch it up. If you don't do it today, you're switching up against Arsenal on Sunday. But that combination, though I put in our group chat, does win games, but it's just not creative enough unless you have players around them that will be more creative. So I don't want to kill Lerma. But I just don't think yesterday he just doesn't do enough going forward. Did he have he had one of those wild shots again? Did he over the bar? He took a wild shot again. He's not but I don't know what. Yeah, you got to stop doing that. But anyway, your thoughts on Lerma before I don't want to ramble too much more, but go ahead.
Yeah, he just, to me, he needs to be deployed at centre half if he's going to play. Or if he's going to play centre midfield, it has to be brought on to like shore up the midfield.
Shore up the game. Yeah.
But I don't think he can start centre midfield unless we're playing a really lower level team, or maybe we've qualified already. But I wasn't very impressed. Don't enjoy watching him play aesthetically in centre midfield. It can be a bit of a drag. But then again, if Mateta puts away one of the chances or someone else puts away one of the chances, it's probably no one probably bats an eyelid at the decision. Also, I gave him a 4 because his long throws were terrible yesterday.
Do you know I saw online, and someone said the ball was different yesterday. It was lighter.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't traveling. Yeah, so maybe, but again, the throws weren't.
It was very windy.
Windy, right? I can ask you were there. Yeah, windy. Yeah, so that didn't help. Ismail Sarr, both him before. I'm gonna go first on Sarr.
I kind of just want to I'm just annoyed he played 83 minutes, wasted legs, ineffective. Even when we went to 4-4-2, I feel like we were still playing with tucked in 10s. Like it was we needed to stretch them. And obviously I watched some of the live reaction, that guy that called in talking about he goes down a bit too easy. I for one will not have any complaints on Ismail Sarr because of what he'd done in his first year at Palace. He's a brilliant player.
Yeah.
But he's so clinical in 1v1 situations.
Scary.
I don't understand why he goes down.
Right.
Because he's so clinical in 1v1 situations. Right. Villa, Brighton, Liverpool Community Shield. It's like this is where you thrive.
Yep.
And I think it's just that moment where he probably thinks, But I don't even want to criticize. So I've got too much love for him, and that's just me being biased.
Yeah. I thought we really tried to go down our right side mostly in the first half, and it was ineffective. There was a great ball from Hughes, but but the pass to Pino was poor by Sarr. Overall, his passing was 16 out of 22. He had one shot, didn't create a single opportunity. There was that one time when he had the shot in the box that I think Mateta might have blocked when there was a bunch of bodies. I think it was around the 9th or 10th minute. That goes in a different game. But you're right, against like that low block teams, he's not effective enough, and I don't know. I'm sure Glasgow's looking at that, but there's got to be a way we can change it up a little bit. And we'll actually get to the sub later on who came on, but it's frustrating. And you're right, 87 minutes in that game, he may as well not even have played more than 45 because he was ineffective. And those minutes in his legs, you could use that on Sunday, but it is what it is. Yeremy Pino next, both game of 4. I'll go first again. We just need him to get up to speed more and get a little bit more creative because, again, if your wingbacks aren't getting involved in the game and our two center midfielders aren't creative, Jeremy Pino is a massive part. You saw it against Dynamo Kyiv, how good he was on one-on-one situations. You talked about that before. He can break down a player 1v1 on the line, get a cross in. Passing 19 out of 24, but he had only 2 touches in the opposition box. He had 1 pass into the final third, 1 pass by number 10. It's not good enough. 1 out for accurate crosses. Crosses weren't good. He tried. He lost 1 out of 9 ground duels. It wasn't a great game for him. I am not going to kill him because again he's adjusting, but clearly we need him to be more effective. You can't have he and Sarr and Hughes and Lerma be that ineffective because at that point you've got no creativity. You're relying on Mateta and whomever to score every chance they get, and we'll get to Mateta, who didn't have a good game either. It's not going to be that way. So your thoughts on Pino?
I've been very complimentary of Pino. I see the potential. I think he's a Spanish international, great player, will be a great asset to us. But I have a few gripes. He's not moving the ball quick enough. He needs to. Right. That's what he needs to learn. He has to move the ball quick. Second, my biggest pet hate with him, he commits too many fouls. When he loses the ball, he does petulant fouls. You can see his head goes. He gets rattled. He pulls people back.
Yeah, he dives in 3 times yesterday. He commits 3 fouls.
Four. I remember because I was like to D, how's this guy not got a yellow card? And it's just like if you're gonna lose the ball, that's fine. Just get back into position. It's fine. We don't mind you losing the ball, trying to make things happen. But then it's just like when you're trying to break these teams down, the last thing you want to do is keep giving fouls away to slow the game down even more, waste another minute. Do you know what I mean? So, again, it's a learning curve for him. So, yeah, but I still believe in him. But yeah, he was probably the most frustrating person for me to watch yesterday because he's the player we kind of needed the most yesterday in terms of output and 1v1s and creating something.
Yeah, creativity. Yeah, I agree. Next, last of the starting lineup, Jean-Philippe Mateta. We both gave him a 4. Your thoughts on JP?
It was poor today. I don't really want to go into it. He should be scoring. We all know that. I'm not going to kill him, but yeah, improvements in it. I don't know. It's like I've never seen a strike. It's so weird because he's like got a good goal scoring record. 3rd top goal scorer in the Premier League. Obviously, he scored 3 on Saturday. But he still doesn't look confident in front of goal. And he scored for France.
Right. Yeah, I don't even know what else to add. He had 2 big chances missed. I think people make a big deal out of the one that he hit off the crossbar. I think if you look at it again, it's a lot harder than it looks because the ball is high, he hits into the ground, which is unlucky, and it hit the crossbar. Should he score? We can argue that all day. What was the other chance that he missed, by the way? I can't remember it.
The cutback in the second half.
Oh, okay. The cutback. Yeah. So, but you're right. I think you make a very good point for a guy who has 7 out of 15 scores in the Premier League, a hat trick, scored for France. He still snatches at too many chances, which he shouldn't be. But I'm not going to criticize him because again, not he can't be criticized. Of course you can. Just saying that I think people can be very harsh on him. And we'll get to Eddie in a minute. It's not like Eddie didn't do similar in this game. So it's not, but again, go ahead.
Do you know what's funny? He's basically in a great run of form and a bad run of form simultaneously.
Oh, that's mad, isn't it? How is that possible?
I don't know. He's doing it, though.
Lou, you nailed it. He's seriously in a good and bad front of him at the same time. I don't know. Listen, in the comments, feel free to comment about Mateta, but I think Louis summed it up perfectly there. But anyway,
But
Eddie,
just to say quickly, like I know it might sound, I, when I watch Palace lose at the moment, I still don't really care that we lose anymore after winning. I know I'm repeating it, but we won the FA Cup and won the Community Shield, and we're in Europe, and Oliver Glasner's my manager. So these losses I can take on the chin all day long. I can absorb these losses and go about my day. So as much as we're breaking it down, like I love all these players. I love them.
Yeah.
I like they. Yeah. So if I find it hard to criticize them because of what they've done, but this is a rating show and whatnot, I'll always back Mateta no matter what.
Yeah, listen, I'm similar again. I think an hour after the game I was upset a little bit. Then I did the post-match reaction with D, which was great for me because it was a good like therapy. And then I was good. I mean, I was good because again, I don't like when we lose, but I just cannot go that crazy over losses because of again, like you just said, what I experienced last season, what I'm experiencing this season. I mean, it's the best time. But again, if you want to be upset, I will not tell people how to feel. I may not agree with how you feel. I'm not gonna say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, fully. Anyway, that's just how I feel. We feel.
Exactly. And Keche, both gave him a 4. I thought when he came on, I love the change, by the way, to the 4-4-2. Unfortunately, I don't think it worked as well as Glasner would have liked. He did have opportunity to score. He had 2 really good chances that he kind of snatched at. He ended up having 2 shots, created a chance down the left side. 3 out of 5 ground duels won, he fought, but it was tough. I'd like to see him get a chance to start. I'll be totally honest with you because I like to see how he does as a starter because everyone's clamoring for it. I want to see how he does, but that may not be against Arsenal. I'm not sure that'd be a good idea to start against his former club. But he didn't have a great day, but then neither did JP. So I'm not going to kill Eddie over it. But your thoughts on Nketiah?
I thought he looked really lively when he came on. Again, I don't like Nketiah receiving the ball back to goal in that like middle third because sometimes it can be a bit. It doesn't look that smooth to me, but I thought he was really lively. He's got to score a couple of those chances, especially the one that bounces to him. I don't know why he thinks he can side volley it into the top corner like that. It just all it takes is a cushion on your stomach in front of you. But obviously, a player that's playing regularly, starting games, might bury that. I thought he might have been disappointed not to start this game, but again, I trust Glasner what he's doing. But I kind of think they probably thought they might be a couple of goals up and they were going to do 45 each. And then it ends up not happening. The performance that he gave was probably a 5 or a 6. But as a striker, if you're coming on and this is your chance to change the game, change the trajectory of the game, and you don't take these massive chances, I'm going to have to mark you down.
Right. Player who... By the way, I didn't give a man of the match. I didn't think anyone deserved one. You gave it to Wharton. You gave him a 7, I gave him a 6.5, but he probably was the best player in the game. But you want to go first on Adam Wharton, how he played when he came on?
2 words, class above. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. Created a great chance, and I mentioned it in the post-match reaction. The balls that he puts in that both Kamada and SA miss, I don't know how they both missed that chance. It's crazy. Funny thing is, on in the stats that I have here, it doesn't have any chance to create. But if that's not a good chance created, I don't know what is. Only on for 90 minutes, but he had 5 passes in the final third. We talked about a player before. We had 1. He had 5 in 19 minutes. 24 out of 35 passing. Was very lively. Was a class above. Again, you can tell creatively how much you miss a player like that when he's not on the pitch. And had he been on earlier, perhaps he win that game. But again, I'm not going to kill Glasner for not starting because I didn't think he should have started. He thinks he needs a bit of a rest, but that's just me. Kamada came on, gave him a 5. Nothing really stood out, but he tried to get about the pitch, took a couple of corners, play some balls into attacking areas. But anything you want to add for Kamada?
No, it was difficult for him to come on and influence. He was asking for the ball a lot of the time and he wasn't getting it.
He was. Yep.
Yeah, so...
And just Uche came on to me, looked live. I'm glad he got on the pitch. Don't give him a rating, but your thoughts? Anything you want to add for Uche?
No.
And SA also got on the pitch late. I would like to both get on. I thought they got on a little bit later, so we get to the manager now. But I'd like to see them getting on a little earlier. But I understand he was again probably like the previous game he probably thought that things are going okay, didn't want to change it up, but I would like to see him going earlier. So we get to the manager now. I gave him a 6, you gave him a 4. I'll go first. I thought the changes were no issue. I like the fact that he started Convo, and I understood. I mentioned already. I understand using Hughes and Lerma over Coman and Wharton. The only issue I had was the lack of creativity that I knew we were going to have, but I know he wanted to have Hughes be that main fulcrum, and then obviously Lerma be more defensive, but he needed more at the 10th, and that's not his fault. Again, his post-match, he mentioned if we score that goal earlier or a goal earlier, the whole game changes. Breaking that low block is not that difficult if you score. If you don't score, low blocks become an issue for Crystal Palace and Manchester City and Barcelona. It's not going to change. The sub and catch, I really liked going to the 4-4-2. I didn't like Essa and Uche so late. I thought I'd like to bring him on earlier. That's my main criticism, but I have a criticism of his tactics or anything else really, because I think we all decided that we need to make some changes and rest some players, and he did that. But your thoughts on how Glasner performed?
Yeah, normally he gets 10s from me every week, but I think he might have got it the wrong way around, as in keeping players on the bench to save the game instead of trying to win it early.
Yeah.
I think if Wharton and Kamada are playing, I don't know, it's hard. I don't know what it's like to navigate as a Premier League team in 4 different competitions. So I just
people act like it's easy, right? People are, let's just start so and so, and it's not that easy. I mean, he has so much more data than we have, and I get that people. It's a game of opinions. I get that, but people don't really understand how hard it is. You're right, to navigate League Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, Conference League. This player is not informed. That player is informed. That player wants to play. That player, whatever. But anyway, my ramble's over. I'm sorry. Continue. Go ahead.
Let's see how we react. But I'm sure Glasner will be beating himself up more than anyone else.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for the play rating for Larnaca. We try to be as honest as possible. If you have any comments, questions, put them in the sections below. We'll be back very soon for a Arsenal preview. We're actually recording right after this, actually, and looking forward to that game. It's going to be tough, but like Louis said, looking forward to see how we bounce back. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Until next time, up the Palace.
The Palace.